Questions are rising over the true number of nursing home COVID deaths in Michigan. A local journalist, based on his own research, says the death toll could be 100% higher than what the state originally reported. Joining us now to discuss is Tudor Dixon, a Michigan gubernatorial candidate, a Republican. Tudor, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming on here. First of all, we all recognize here these claims are sad, whether it's 1 or 100, no matter what. The whole thing is upsetting. But what do you make of these claims that these nursing home deaths reportings could be much higher, as much as 100% higher than initially reported in your state?
Well, of course, this is very disturbing to hear that this is the case, especially when they're now coming out and saying, hey, it was too time-consuming to track this. We couldn't track this. I'm in the situation where I have a grandmother who died alone in a nursing home because of these lockdowns, because we had a governor who told us she was keeping our most vulnerable safe. Now it seems very convenient that she doesn't want to let us understand or give us the numbers as to who exactly died in nursing homes by saying that it was too time-consuming to track. But imagine that comment. We can't track it, but we can track every business owner who stayed open or broke any rules and even take them to jail. I mean, this is where we are in Michigan right now.
And I think about churches as well. They're able to shut down several churches. We've seen pastors arrested inside of church. I think of one specifically there in Louisiana. And thinking about another state to compare you to, New York, Governor Cuomo. You have seen, obviously, an investigation is being done, but again, it seemed to be taking a back seat. Are you scared that that will happen in Michigan as well with Governor Whitmer?
We have a lot of people on this. You mentioned Charlie LaDuff. He is definitely looking into this. Obviously, that's a reporter. And it's going to take really hard-nosed reporters to go out and find these numbers because we have an administration that will not be transparent, will not tell us. So, yes, I think this is an Andrew Cuomo situation. I think that Gretchen Whitmer is the Andrew Cuomo of the Midwest. We need to find out exactly what happened to our elderly and where in the state it happened, because that's also being covered up right now.
Restrictions were so tight in the state of Michigan. Governor Whitmer dodging questions now about whether the state's remaining COVID restrictions will be lifted on July the 1st. Let me play this for you.
Today is June 1st. This is the first day of this phase. In this phase, we have actually been able to get out of most of the protocols that we've had. There are not limitations on outdoor dining. There remain some, 50%, but not a lot of the other same protocols that were there with regard to indoor dining. We still know that COVID is present. We are not at 70% of our population having gotten vaccinated yet. That's the goal. I still hope that we can hit that goal by July 4th.
What do you make of that? The President of the United States has even said that they've lifted so many restrictions. July 4th, it seemed to be the day that everyone's targeted for. But your state seems to be, wait, we're not actually sure about July 4th. Inability to give a straight answer. Your thoughts?
Well, and that question was about why not open now? Why are you opening all of these other things, but restaurants still can only make 50% of their revenue? Why not open now? Especially coming from a governor who just went to a restaurant, broke her own rules, pushed tables together. Instead of 6 people at a table, she had 12 people at a table and then said, oh, we just didn't think about it. She doesn't think about it because it doesn't need to happen right now. She can't answer the question because we don't need these lockdowns right now. We said we needed to flatten the curve. Then we said we needed to get people vaccinated. Let me tell you, you can walk right up to the Meijer pharmacy today at any time of day and say, I need a vaccine, and have one in 10 to 15 minutes. So the fact that we need to have our restaurants shut down has no science behind it. And the reason she can't answer the question is because there is no answer to the question. We don't need to be locked down. We need to get Gretchen Whitmer out of office. I need your help to do that. Please go to TudorDixon.com so that we can have a reasonable person in government that is working for the Michigan people. I
imagine Michiganders are a sensitive time for them because everyone watched the restrictions, the COVID restrictions there in your state. They were absolutely the most extreme by comparison, fact by fact. But Tudor, what would you do differently than Governor Whitmer to gain those votes?
Look, we'd have to pardon the people that were cited. We have to, on day one, come in and say, listen, if you were cited, we pardon you. We do our best to get those fines back to you on day one. But what would I have done differently in the pandemic? Look, we can look at the other states around the country and say, look what they did differently. You pointed out yourself, Michigan had the hardest lockdowns, and yet we had some of the highest cases. We had the worst surge in 21 of any state in the United States. It didn't work. We could see it wasn't working. Look at our neighboring states. Look at the other states in the union. Look at Florida. Look at Georgia. Look at Texas and say, our economy is important. We can get back to work. And these restrictions that you have, they're not reducing the number of cases that we're having in Michigan. The cases were rising. So it's important to empower the Michigan people, to trust the Michigan people. You heard Kristi Noem on multiple occasions come out and say, I trust the people of my state. It is important for your leader to trust you, to be a servant leader, to say, listen, we understand that Michiganders can do the right thing. And that's what I would do. I would come out and say, we can trust Michiganders, but also look at science. Gretchen Whitmer wasn't looking at science. That's why she can't answer the question today. It's because there's no science behind it. So go to TudorDixon.com and help us out so that we can get a reasonable governor in office who works for you.
You never know who's watching. All right, Tudor Dixon, candidate there for governor of Michigan. Good to see you, Tudor. Thank you. Best of luck.
Hi, Emma Reckenberg here. If you like this video, there's a whole lot more to see on Newsmax TV. You can watch for free right here on our YouTube live stream and be the first one here each time our experts break down real news. Just hit that subscribe button, ring the bell icon, and stay with us on America's fastest growing cable news channel, Newsmax TV.